Today we'll be working on some skills for the STAR test that will be June 3rd. On this first page, we're going to solve equations of different solution types. They are all one variable linear equations. So on the top half, it says to solve each equation. So on number 1, our end goal is to end up with the variable f on one side and a number on the other. The first thing we're going to have to do is use the distributive property and multiply the 6 times everything inside the parentheses. So 6 times negative 9f would be negative 54f. And 6 times 10 would be 60. Next, we would add 54f to both sides. This would cancel it out on the left and cancel it out on the right, and we would end up with 60 equals negative 64. This is not true, so there are no solutions to number 1. Number 4. We're going to use the distributive property on both sides. So 50 times b is 50b, and 50 times 6 is 300. 10 times 5b is 50b, and 10 times 9 is 90. We would subtract 50b from both sides. That cancels out. Then 300 minus 210 is 90. And the other side is 90. So this is true. What we have is the line on the left is the line on the right. So this is infinite solutions. Number 2. We're going to use the distributive property on the left. We have negative 7c plus 6 equals negative 2 minus 7c. If we add 7c to both sides, then it cancels out on both sides, and we have 6 equals negative 2, which is not true, so there are no solutions. Number 5. Here we can combine like terms, so the minus 10h and the 10h add together to 0. So now we have 2 equals 3, which is not true. So again, no solutions. Number 3. Number 3. We've got minus 7f plus 8 plus 7f equals 8. If we combine the like terms, negative 7 and positive 7 cancel each other out, and we get 8 equals 8, which is true, which means the graph on the left and on the right are the same line, so we have infinite solutions. And number 6, we need to use the distribution method on the right. So we have 7 plus 8t, 10 times 3 is 30, and 10 times negative 6t is negative 60t. We're going to add 60 to both sides. So we have 7 plus 68t equals 30. We're going to subtract 7 from both sides. That gets rid of it on the left. And we have 68t equals 23. Now we need to divide both sides by 68. That cancels it out on the left. And t equals 23 over 68, which equals 0.34. So there's one solution. If you have any questions about how to solve these types of problems, please use class time to ask for further clarification now. On the bottom half of the page, state whether each equation has one, infinite, or no solutions. If just one solution, solve for the variable. So number 7, we can combine like terms on the right, and we have 0 equals 0. Since these are the same, this is infinite solutions. Number 10. First thing we need to do is use the distributive property. Now we have 2 minus 8d equals 6. 4 times 7 is 28, so plus 28. And 4 times negative 3d is negative 12d. We combine like terms, and we get 2 minus 8d equals 34 minus 12d. Then we add 12d to both sides. That cancels it out on the right. And we have 2 plus 12d equals 34. Subtract 2 from both sides. That cancels it out on the left. And we have 12D equals 32. Now we divide both sides by 12. That cancels it on the left. And D equals 32 divided by 12, 2 2/3. So there's one solution. Number 8. The first thing we're going to do is use the distribution property. Negative times n is negative n. Negative times negative 2 is plus 2. Then we're going to use distribution on the right side. Negative times n is negative 10. Negative times n is negative n. If we combine the like terms, we now have negative n plus 11 equals negative 10 minus n. If we add n to both sides, this cancels out on the left side and the right side, and I get an equation that says 11 equals negative 10. That's not true, so there are no solutions. Number 11. We're going to use the distribution property. We have 12 plus 3d equals 3 times d is 3d, and 3 times 4 is 12. We can see that both sides are the same, so this is going to have infinite solutions. Number 9. We're going to use distribution. Four times t is 4t. Four times 9 is 36. Negative times negative 4t is plus 4t. And negative times negative 28 is plus 28. We combine the like terms, and we have 4t plus 36 equals 4t plus 36. Both sides are the same, so this is infinite solutions. And number 12, we're going to use the distributive property. We have 9 equals 10 times 4v is 40v. 10 times 5 is 50. Now we combine like terms on the right. We have 9 equals 40v plus 53. Now we're going to subtract 53 from both sides, and we get negative 44 equals 40v Then we divide both sides by 40. That cancels out on the right. And we get V equals negative 44 divided by 40 equals negative 1.1. So there's one solution. If you have any questions about how to determine whether there are 0 answers, 1 answer, or infinite answers, please use class time now to ask for clarification. Page 2. Solve the equations. Round your answers to the nearest hundredth if you need. So when we see problems like this, we're going to cross multiply and then set them equal to each other and solve. So 1 times x plus 18 is x plus 18. 9 times x minus 14 is 9x minus 136. 126. Now I'm going to subtract x from both sides. That cancels it out on the left. And we have 18 equals 8x minus 126. Then we add 126 to both sides. And that cancels it from the right. Now we have 8x equals 144. We divide both sides by 8. And x equals 144 divided by 8 is 18. So our answer would be x equals 18. Number 6. We're going to cross multiply. So we have 9 times 7 equals 63. And we've got 3 times d plus 2. 3 times d is 3d. 3 times 2 is 6. We subtract 6 from both sides. 63 minus 6 is 57 equals 3d. We divide both sides by 3 and d equals 19. Number 2. Again, we cross multiply. 2 times r is 2r. 2 times 21 is 42 equals r times 7, which is 7r. We subtract 2r from both sides. And 42 equals 5r. We divide both sides by 5, and r equals 42 divided by 5 equals 8.4. Number 7. We cross multiply. 1 times 29 is 29. 6 times 6c is 36c. And 6 times negative 15 is negative 90. We add 90 to both sides, and 119 equals 36c. Then we divide both sides by 36, and c equals 119 divided by 36, and it says round to the nearest hundredth, so that would be 3.31. Number 3. We cross multiply. 1 times h plus 16 is h plus 16. 3 times h is 3h, and 3 times 8 is 24. We subtract h from both sides, and we get 16 equals 2h plus 24. We subtract 24 from both sides, and 2h equals negative 8. Divide both sides by 2, and h equals negative 4. Number 8. We cross multiply. 13 times n is 13n, and 2 times 9 is 18. Then we divide both sides by 13, and n equals 1.38. Number 4. We cross multiply. 1 times 9 is 9, and 7 times v is 7v. Divide both sides by 7, and v equals 1.29. Number 9. We cross multiply. 1 times 16 is 16. 6 times y is 6y, and 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. We add 30 to both sides, and 6y equals 46. We divide both sides by 6, and we get y equals 46 divided by 6, which is 7.67. Number 5, we cross multiply. 3 times b is 3b. 4 times b is 4b. And 4 times 10 is 40. We subtract 3b from both sides. 0 equals b plus 40. We subtract 40 from both sides, and we find out b equals negative 40. And number 10, we cross multiply. F times 6 is 6f. And 7 times 3 is 21. We divide both sides by 6, and f equals 3.5. If you have any questions about how we solve problems like the ones on page 2, please use class time to ask for further clarification. Page 3, Percentage Calculations. Round your answer to 3 decimal places. So if we have 34% times 11.5, this would be 0.34 times 11.5. Now we can put that in a calculator. 0.34 times 11.5, and the answer is 3.91. Remember that to change a percentage to a decimal, we're going to move the decimal point to the left 2 spots. Number 6, 0.79 times 82.1. That can go right into a calculator. And our answer is 64.859. Number 2, 67.6 divided by 54%. To change this to a decimal, move the decimal point 2 spots to the left. Now we have 67.6 divided by 0.54. And if we round to 3 decimal places, this is 125.185. Number 7, 97% times 95.6. We take the decimal point and we move it 2 spots to the left. And now we have 0.97 times 95.6. And our answer is 92.732. Number 3. We have 76.1 divided by, we move the decimal point 2 spots, and we have 0.88. Put that in a calculator. 76.1 divided by 0.88. And rounded to 3 decimal points, this is 86.477. Number 8. This time, we want to put our answer as a percentage. So we're going to do 33 divided by 72.3. And that's going to equal 0.45643. But if I want to do it as a percentage, now I need to move the decimal point to the right 2 spots, and the answer is 45.643%. So if we're going from a percentage to a decimal, we move the decimal 2 spots to the left. But if we're going from a decimal to a percent, we move the decimal 2 spots to the right. Number 4. We have 88.3 divided by 0.93. Rounded to 3 decimal places, this would be 94.946. Number 9. We're going to do the division and then turn the decimal into a percentage. So 27.3 divided by 69 equals 0.39565. Now to turn from a decimal to a percentage, we're going to move the decimal point 2 spots to the right, and our answer is 39.565%. Number 5. 26.2 divided by 0.03 equals, rounded to 3 decimal places, that's 873.333. And number 10, 0.41 times 17.7 equals 7.257. If you have any questions about how to solve any of the problems on page 3, please use class time now to ask for further clarification. And page 4, percentage calculations, round your answer to 3 decimal places. Number 1, what is 49% of 19.8? So this would be 49% times 19.8. To put that as a decimal, we move the decimal 2 spots to the left, and this becomes 0.49 times 19.8. And that equals 9.702. Number 6. What percent of 61 is 54.6? So now, if we look at the previous one, we knew the percent and we knew the number and we multiplied them together to get what the percentage was. Now we know the total is 61 and we know that the number portion is 54.6. So we're going to take 54.6 and divide it by 61. Then we're going to multiply by 100 to make it a percentage. So 54.6 divided by 61 equals 0.89508. Now we're going to multiply that by 100, and as a percentage we get 89.508%. Number 2. 77.8 is 57% of what? So what I would normally do is take the missing number, multiply it by 57%, and get the answer. Well, now what we're going to do is take 77.8 and divide it by 57%. That equals 77.8 divided by 0.57. And that equals 136.491. So 77.8 is 57% of 136.491. Number 7. 59.3 is 46% of what? You're going to take the number they give you, 59.3, and you're going to divide it by 46%. This becomes 59.3 divided by 0.46. So our total is 128.913. So now if I took 128.913 and I multiplied it by 46%, we would get 59.3. Number 3. What is 74% of 26.4? So I need to take 26.4 and I need to multiply that by 74%. Well, that becomes 26.4 times 0.74, which equals 19.536. Number 8. 86.4 is 90% of what? We need to take the 86.4 and divide it by the 90%. This becomes 86.4 divided by 0.90. And that turns out to be 96. Number 4. What is 77% of 27.9? Well, we need to take the number and multiply it by 77%. As a decimal, that's 27.9 times 0.77. Put that into a calculator, and that equals 21.483. So 21.483 is 77% of 27.9. Number 9. What is 30% of 18.3? So that's going to be 18.3 times 30%, which becomes 18.3 times 0.30. Put that into a calculator, and our answer is 5.49. Number 5. 47.9 is 83% of what? So you can look right above and notice we took the whole number times the percentage to get the answer that represented the percent. Well, now if we just divided by the percentage, we would get the whole, and that's what we're looking for here. So 47.9 divided by 83%. That becomes 47.9 divided by 0.83, which equals 57.711. And number 10, what percent of 53.7 is 30? So normally we would take the whole, multiply it by the percentage, and get the partial. Well, now we're going to take the whole, we're going to take the part, and we're going to divide it by the whole. So this would be 30 divided by 53.7, and that equals 0.55866. But now we need to move this decimal 2 spots to the right so that this becomes 55.866%. If you have any questions about any of the problem types that we did in this practice, please use class time to ask for further clarification so you can be better prepared for the STAR test on June 3rd.